Yeah, thanks for sharing your information. But how about making some wearables in Decentraland? Because I see a marketplace
Yes,
and I
wearables
don't know
are
if artists can do that.
yeah, wearables are maybe even more exciting than anything else. The well, I guess it depends. Exciting to me, is my opinion. Um,
Yeah,
I love wearables. I think it's the coolest thing ever. And it was funny because when we did the event, it was an official art. It was like the official art week of Decentraland, and we did one of the closing parties. It was like the Saturday. We had a whole day of like symposiums and everything else that we did, and covering different factors, and had a bunch of guest speakers and panels. It was wonderful. Anyway, as soon as we got elected to do that, we had to start finding different places and just becoming more familiar. And the very first step is, before you even jump into the world, is your character. Now you have to make your character look cool. And I want to look cool, right? Everyone want to look cool. And there's not a huge amount of options that they give you just as the standard free wearable options. So immediately people went off on, like, everyone in our team pretty much went off and either bought some shoes or a hat or a sweatshirt or something, because we knew that we were hosting this event. We actually went shopping before the event. So just to say that's real. And again, these are all grown-ups. I mean, kids feel the exact same way, but even grown-ups still feel the same way. We have to look cool. Even our characters have to look cool, especially if we're going to a party. So wearables, in order to deploy, and same thing, if anyone has more detailed information, please chime in. But I'll just give a kind of a brief overview. When you're making a wearable, you need the 3D object. That 3D object or asset, also, you need to go through a process where that's pinned to the bone structure of the avatars specific to Decentraland. There's a technical step that needs to be done. After that is done, then you have to pay a certain amount, and you don't pay it in ETH, you pay it in their in-game asset, which is mana, which is a ERC20 token that actually came up yesterday. We were talking about social tokens, utility tokens. Mana is an
yeah,
example of one of those utility tokens. So you would have to buy mana. I want to say it's 500 mana, but they may have changed it because I think the price went up a bunch. So it might only be like 100 mana, something like that. I don't know. But there's a set price that you have to submit. And when you submit your design, the DAO that runs Decentraland, they review it, and they're reviewing it for technical functionality because they don't want people to deploy wearables if, say, it's not pinned properly. So that when the person goes to do a dance move and they're wearing a sweatshirt and the sweatshirt doesn't move with their arm, it just looks wonky, makes the whole thing look like broken and not, not up to their
yeah,
standards.
yeah, yeah.
So they require that review process. After you pay and after they approve it, assuming they approve it, then you have the opportunity to deploy that wearable either directly into their store, or you can have it like you can mint them into a wallet that you then either airdrop. I've seen that done a lot, where people will, like, you'll buy an NFT and the NFT is beautiful. That's how they did the Coke Boys drop for the sneakers that they did. And so we bought the NFT, and then they airdropped us the wearable. So from the user end, now we're receiving that as an airdrop. Once that's in our wallet, when we go to connect to Decentraland, we can then load that onto our avatar and move around in the world.
I think for sandbox is this it has the same process because I heard from my friends that they use some softwares for voxel art, and they can deploy their variables and their softs to sandbox like the same way you talked about Decentraland. I think that's the same way for sandbox as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
like a quality control maneuver, and then also allows them, I guess, to bring some additional revenue, or at least to have another utility and use case for their mana, for that for their in-game token. Or Sandbox. I don't know. Does Sandbox have an in-game token? Probably, right? Sand. I think they do. I think it's called
Yeah,
Sand. Yeah.
yeah, Sandy's, and I heard it has some games, but it happens I think once or twice a year. It's not like Decentraland that you can go and play some games during the metaverse. It has just I think once or twice a year, something like a ceremony. I don't know how to call it, but the game is just some limited times for the gameplay, so you can't always access to the game.